Welcome back to Trump Tuesday. This is episode 34. Let's get right into the news. A few days ago, the United States reached a terrible death toll of 200,000 people. And I know that might be a hard number to get around, because it is. And remember, none of this would have happened if we just had decisive leadership from the beginning from Donald Trump. Instead, he's holding mega rallies with thousands of people packed together inside with almost none wearing masks, just to make himself feel good. And during one of his rallies in Ohio, Trump openly talked about his total disregard for human life.
Now we know it. It affects elderly people with heart problems and other problems. If they have other problems, that's what it really affects. That's it. You know, in some states, thousands of people, nobody young, below the age of 18, like nobody. They have a strong immune system. Who knows? You take your hat off to the young, because they have a hell of an immune system. But it affects virtually nobody.
Now, I might not have agreed with everything he said there, but I definitely agree with take your hats off. Seriously though, why are you openly admitting that the virus affects elderly people when elderly people are in your rally? I honestly don't know what to say anymore. At this point, it's less surprising than you finding out in math class that soft serve ice cream is 35% air. Then Trump departed and went on his way to campaign in the whole new state of Ohio. Now, before in 2016, Trump was leading the state by 8 points, but now it's turned into a toss-up, which would make sense why he's campaigning in the same state twice. During this event, our commander-in-chief demonstrated his intricate sense of military equipment.
Nobody, and we do. We have weapons, the likes of which nobody's ever seen before. We have I call it the super-duper missiles, like at a level that nobody's ever seen before. You don't see them either. They go through here, they say, boy, what happened? What was that? It's gone. It's here. There it is. I hear a noise over there. Where is it? It's gone. It's over there. But it's hydrosonic. I call it super duper because super duper is easier for people to understand than hydrosonic.
Now, the reason why it's easier is because it doesn't exist. The hydrosonic missile Trump is talking about is actually a hypersonic missile. Although a hydrosonic missile would be kind of cool. Trump held another rally in Pennsylvania, and I've got to tell you, this is where all the commotion was at. Listen to this.
And to fight the China virus, it's the China virus, not the coronavirus. Corona sounds like a place in Italy, a beautiful place. It's Corona. Coronavirus, doesn't it sound like Italy? A beautiful villa, you have a beautiful Corona.
Now, it should be obvious that Trump doesn't know what the coronavirus means or what COVID-19 means. Corona is a word derived from Latin, but I wouldn't expect him to know that. He barely knows how to speak his own language. Trump then felt the need to address one of the biggest problems facing society today.
As he's getting rocks and cans of tuna fish, they go out and buy tuna fish and soup. You know that, right? Goya, I hope. Goya, he's great, isn't he? Good guy. They throw it. It's the perfect weight. Tuna fish, they can really rip it, right? And that hits you. No, it's true. Bumblebee, brand tuna. And you can throw that sucker, you can put a curve on it, you can do whatever the hell you want. And the cops in Chicago, you saw it, they're going like this. It was terrible.
Now, what Trump is referring to here is when protesters threw items at the police, and one of the items was soda cans. But it shouldn't have hurt that much, because it's only a soft drink. I'm sorry, I had to make that joke. Trump went on about tuna fish.
They get caught. They're walking up there like 30 cans of soup. They have like 25 cans of tuna. They get caught. I'm bringing this home to my family. How dare you stop me? No. They use it as ammunition. It's terrible.
Does Trump really think these protesters are grabbing tuna by the hole and swinging them around at people? This is real life here, not a game of Hitman. It's almost normal to see Trump rambling on about some random subject all the time at this point. It's like the time he suggested increasing the amount of power that goes into showerhead so his hair could be, quote, perfect, or the time when he started rambling about flushing the toilet 15 times. But we're used to it at this point. Just like when Trump said last Wednesday in a press conference that he might not have a peaceful transition of power if he doesn't like the results of the 2020 election.
Will you commit here today for a peaceful transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots, and the ballots are a disaster.
I understand that, but people are rioting. Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful transferal of power?
We want to get rid of the ballots, and we'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation. The ballots are out of control. You know it. And you know who knows it better than anybody else? The Democrats know it better than anybody else.
We're gonna have to see what happens? What is that supposed to mean? The peaceful transition of power is a norm that's always been in US elections. What Trump is suggesting right here is a dictatorship. And he knows that the majority of people will not vote for him, so he's trying to suppress their vote and tell you that their vote does not count, making the unsubstantiated claim that mail-in voting leads to voter fraud. This is honestly more pathetic than you telling your friend in class that you know how to hack by going into inspect elements. Trump has let us down by failing to provide the necessary leadership to get this virus under control. He still continues to hold mega rallies during a pandemic just to boost his ego, and continues to undermine American democracy by suppressing ballots and not guaranteeing that there will be a peaceful transition of power if he loses in the election. And now with the terrible death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Trump rushed to fill the Supreme Court seat with a conservative before the election, resulting in a Republican supermajority in the Supreme Court. If you gave Trump a CAT scan, I'm pretty sure all you'll be able to see is
Tuna fish and soup.
Thank you for watching, and see you next week on Trump Tuesday.